a catastrophic fire danger warning has been declared on the New South Wales Far South Coast. That's the highest possible rating, meaning the region is experiencing the worst possible conditions for a fire. A total fire ban's in place for Sydney, the Blue Mountains, the Central Coast and South Coast. And it's forced the closure of more than 20 schools today on the South Coast and in the Central West. They range from schools in Batemans Bay to Bega Valley, Mogo to Tathra, all areas that have very recent history with fires, particularly the Black Summer bushfires of 2019-20. Let's go live now to the member for Eden-Monaro, the Minister for Regional Development, Kristy McBain, whose electorate covers many of these areas. Kristy, thanks so much for joining us. 20 schools, it does feel like, you know, that doesn't occur for nothing, them closing. What can you tell us about your understanding of the fire threat there and the decision to shut the schools?
Well, good afternoon. It's great to be with you. We know that we're going to be facing a pretty tough summer. And I think the decision that was made yesterday to close 20 schools across the coast was one done out of precaution. A lot of those schools, both primary and secondary, back onto reserves. But I've just received news from my own daughter. Her high school buses are now coming early because of a bushfire that is near the beach where she goes to school. So it's an evolving situation with more schools closing early at the moment. So
are you aware of several fires that are occurring at the moment, and do you know what areas they're occurring in?
Yeah, absolutely. Like so many people who went through the Black Summer bushfires, hazards near me is a constant companion on my device, and we've got obviously bushfires at Aslings Beach in Eden, State Forest near Bombala, a number of Watchanack fires within the Bega Valley and Eurobodalla Shire council areas. A number of those are being controlled at the moment, but I think, you know, given we're only mid-September, it's not a good sign for what's to come.
And a couple of years of respite, really, after the Black Summer bushfires. Not as bad climatic conditions, I suppose, but also, let's face it, a lot of bush was burnt out during those fires. Does this bring some feelings of anxiety and PTSD really for your community? I mean, I guess they have to come to terms with the fact these things are going to continue to happen, but is that the feeling down there at the moment?
Look, absolutely. You know, the Bega Valley is largely in drought already. We have a lot of very dry paddocks around us, but also after 3 years of you know, a lot of rainfall, we've got a lot of undergrowth in our national parks, our state forests, our cranlands, right through the bush. So it will be a concern to a number of people today. The weather conditions, it's hot, it's windy, and I think there are a lot of people who will be rightly concerned about what's happening. The thing that I think our community does really well is pull together during times of need, and I know that many property owners have already been preparing their properties for what was to come this summer. I know the RFS has been doing a really great job backburning as much as they possibly can, and that people are probably more prepared than they've ever been given the experience that we had in 2019, 2020.
So you're confident then that hazard reduction has been looked after in a better fashion than it was prior to those fires? That became a big issue at the time.
Well, we would like to see more of it done, but because of the wet conditions that we had for so long, not as much has been done as they'd like to be done. But I think our community is as best prepared as we can be as we head into this season. And it's very much about looking after each other when we have weather conditions like this, because as you rightly point out, for so many people, this will bring up pretty traumatic memories and PTSD. And we know that some people are going to react worse than others in these conditions. And so we just need to be mindful of that and be there for each other during these times.
Just finally, and again, thanks for your time, Kristy McBain, is there any advice that you can give to people who might be watching us right now on the New South Wales South Coast?
It's incredibly important we continue to listen to the advice of our emergency services. Hazards Near Me provides us some fantastic information. But if we are given any directions by RFS, by New South Wales Fire and Rescue, by New South Wales Police or ambulance, please make sure we are following those directions. They're all there to keep us safe as a community, and we will continue to work with each other to get through what is going to be a tough day today and potentially a tough summer ahead.
Christy McBain, thanks so much for your time and good luck with the days ahead.
Thank you.